Recovery Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Agassi. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and stroke survivor. And I had fun last night. Okay. I had fun with my niece and her friend and my husband. He like freaking catered the whole thing, and we had a gigantic just smorgasbord of food. It was amazing. And so I've got a lot of symptoms today. Even though I didn't watch the game, it's just that's a lot of movement, as you can imagine. So for me, even with three people in the room. So also when I get excited, it causes my symptoms to act up. But so I might have some issues with finding words today, most likely. Clearly I already did because I couldn't even remember how to introduce myself. Today's a big vestibular day. I am going to be going to the neurotologist today. So if you recall, in December, I got a VNG test. It's a vestibular test that is really the point of it is to rule out things. So what happened was one of the tests, the test inside the test, one of the procedures or whatever that they do is they blow cold air and warm air into your ears one at a time. And depending on your reaction and your eye movement, so your eyes, it sounds like, are supposed to move back and forth. And depending on whatever reaction that happens is a sign of something going on inside with your vestibular system. So what ended up happening is I showed signs of vestibular neuritis, which is inflammation of the vestibular nerve in your ear, which is a fifth grader's explanation of what that is. But you can look it up online if you're interested. It's called vestibular neuritis. And vestibular neuritis is caused by a viral infection. Um, what is curious about that diagnosis is that this all happened when I had my stroke. My symptoms started when I had my stroke. So I continue to be a unique case where they still, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm going to the neurotologist who is, I don't know, right? I don't know how to finish that sentence. What is he going to do? Um, I've done a little bit of research, and it sounds like symptoms can mimic uh stroke, like post-stroke disorders. And so I don't know what he's gonna say. I have no idea. Like the lady who did the test was like very surprised that I'm showing signs, pretty strong signs of vestibular neuritis. Yet the whole reason that this whole thing started is because of my stroke. So I'm going to talk to the professional today. So, what I wanted to do is a little bit different today. I wanted to record before my appointment and then record after my appointment. And I wanted to do this for a couple reasons. One is because I have this feeling of uncertainty. I have this feeling of self-pity, that I need to go in there and do this. I have really bad symptoms right now. And I wanted to record the difference between what I feel like before and what I feel like after. Um, it's really just to allow these types of feelings to resonate with anybody who's going to doctors like this nonstop because you have some sort of chronic condition. Um, I don't know if he's going to try to give me medication again. I've tried so many medications, and honestly, I'm tired of trying. I don't like the idea of putting medications in my body and then having them not work, increase the dosage, having it not work, increase the dosage again, having it not work, and then wean myself off of it. It just, it sounds sketchy to me to be putting stuff in my body like that, and it's not doing anything that we can see, right? We can't see what impact it's having because it's certainly not doing anything positive for my symptoms. But I feel like if you put some sort of chemical in your body, it's got to be doing something to you. And and if we can't see it, that's sketchy to me. So I don't know. I've come to the point where I've accepted this disability, and I've come to the point where I talked about it yesterday that I've accepted that this is permanent. And I've been dealing with this for 3 years. There are people in my support group, vestibular support group, who talk about having dealt with this for 20 years and then just got diagnosed with I don't know, some one of the vestibular disorders. There's quite a few of them. And I don't want to spend 20 years doing this, going to doctors and having them not have any idea what's wrong with me, you know? So there's this gray area between going to doctors and getting help, and going to doctors and not getting help, because they don't know. Um, there's a lot of stuff they don't know about our vestibular system, and it seems like to me, it seems like a lot of times they're shooting in the dark, um, and seeing what happens. And as much as I want to contribute to them having experience with a vestibular patient where these things don't work, what should be wrong or what could be wrong, I also have a bit of leeriness, obviously, of being a guinea pig in the situation. So what happens next is I'm going to go to this neurotologist and talk to him about the results of my VNG test. And then I'm supposed to make an appointment to see my stroke specialist again, so that I can compare notes with her. So I have a sinking feeling today about my expectations are very low. It's like I expect to be disappointed. That's what I feel like right now, that I'm just going in there and I'm going to be disappointed because they're not going to know what to do next and they're going to take another guess. And that sends me into really several days of depression about my condition. And if you recall, when I was going to all of these freaking specialists and I would come out of that, I don't know how much I articulated in my podcast episodes. I hope I did articulate that it can be so frustrating. And I remember talking to my psychiatrist about how frustrated I was and how just sad and hopeless I felt after an appointment. So I wanted to record it. So it's live action today. We're gonna see. I go to the doctor. We're gonna leave in about an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. So I'll come back this afternoon and record what happened and how I feel. Then people that are dealing with the same condition with vestibular disorder and that frustration of not getting the diagnosis, of continuing to go back to doctors' offices and such, will be recorded, and that can be helpful to somebody else, if not anything else, but to help somebody else who has a vestibular disorder not feel alone, that this is normal. And it's unfortunate that it's normal, but that's what I've been dealing with today. So, I will be back this afternoon. I'll talk to you soon. And I'm back. It's the next day after my doctor's appointment with my neurotologist. And I am recording the following day because I sank into a really, really sad place yesterday. Not because he told me anything I didn't know. I think it's because he told me everything I already knew. And that is that I have a chronic condition. The test that I took that showed an imbalance in my vestibular system, he said is not the cause of my symptoms. And he said that although he could try to give me another medication, these are temporary solutions to a chronic condition. And he doesn't really recommend doing that. I really appreciated his honesty. I needed somebody to say that. I needed somebody to tell me, a professional, somebody that has neuro before their name, to say what you have is chronic and there's nothing more I can do for you. And that's where I'm at. I I'm trying to explain the same to other people around me, and it can be difficult because everybody wants to fix it, and it's just not fixable. It's just not. And I've had to practice acceptance, and what I need to let go of my desire to get everybody else to accept it. What matters is that I accept it and my husband accepts it so that we can move forward and learn how to live joyfully this way. Um, and I think I haven't recognized that until this very moment. So this is another reason, right, why I do the podcast, because I need to say this stuff out loud, and that helps me to act on it. And so that's where I'm at. I do have my psychiatrist appointment tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's really, really good timing. I always feel this way after a doctor's appointment. It's like going down a path and reaching a dead end. Like, that's frustrating no matter who you are. When you're going towards a destination that is not there when you get there, that can be very frustrating. So that's where I'm at. But I got to sleep on it. I am going to work on my my mood, my approach, my acceptance, my joy. I'm going to keep pouring my passion and healing into helping other people. I just completed the my bio and my picture to send to the Vestibular Disorder Association. So I'm going to be on their website as an ambassador. And I'm looking forward to being able to contribute, to give back to one of the
I don't want to say one of the few things because it's all a part of my journey, but one of the pivotal moments was me reading the article on the Vita website that said that was about vision challenges with vestibular disorders, and that is really what led me down this path. And I do have a fellow stroke survivor in that network who has the same condition as me. His stroke was in a different area of his brain, so it's confusing. But, I had a recent episode that was about not having to understand something that I depend on. And I was talking about my higher power and other things. And I don't have to understand it in order to depend on it, rely on it, accept it, all of those positive terms. And that's where I'm at. Like I don't have to understand why I have the vestibular disorder. Heck, I don't even know why I had the stroke. I've told you guys my suspicion. I mean, I had a clot in my arm after my first COVID vaccine. I had a clot in my brain after the second COVID vaccine. Nothing could be more obvious to me as to why I had my stroke, but there is no doctor that was willing to document that, and that's really unfortunate. I think I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put my flag in the ground and own it, own all of this, and see if we can start moving forward again. So, yeah, that's what I've got for you. So, yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for showing up for me. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you tomorrow.